हर महादेवा भोला बाबा। ओम नमः शिवाय हर महादेवा भोला बाबा।
Namaste, Sitaram, a pleasant good morning. Welcome to Rudraaya. I'm your host, Nisha Sharma, and Rudraaya is being brought to you with the kind compliments of Maharudradev Mandir. And of course, our Mandir is located at 850 Tapscott Road, Unit 34 in Scarborough, with Tapscott and McNichol being our closest intersection. So I do hope that all of you had a blessed Shivratri night. And you did manage to have some way that you performed your worship to Lord Shiva. So we'll get straight into our pravachan with our spiritual leader this morning, Pandit Ravi Sharma. Enjoy.
प्रेम से बोले श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. Dear devotees, once again, so it's my pleasure to be here in the company of you and yours, dear Rudraaya. Every child in a Hindu family is taught right from his young age to worship Bhagwan Shiva by pouring milk, curd, honey, water, bay leaves upon the Shivalingam. But surprisingly, they are not taught or told about the importance and the significance of doing so. It's a practice which has continued for generations, and hence people blindly follow it without knowing the reason for performance. So, whatever we do or preach in our daily lives, we should be aware of the reason behind doing so. Bhagwan has made human beings different from other forms of life by bestowing them with the power to reason and understand. Hence, it is important to use our power of reason and understanding of a particular thing. By doing so, we not only increase our knowledge about something, but our belief towards performing so would also get strengthened. The same is the case when I say, or rather ask, why is milk offered to Lord Shiva? Why should such ritual be performed when milk and other ingredients are wasted over a piece of stone in a mandir? I'm sure very few would know the significance of doing so. Let me tell you why. Going back to our Vedas, Puranas, our Shastras, according to the Shiva Agamas, the sacred literature of Shaivism, the activity of pouring milk, honey, or water, etc. on Bhagwan Shiva is called as Abhishekam. As for the Shiva Agamas, performing Abhishek has great importance when worshipping Bhagwan Shiva, as it increases the effectiveness of these ceremonies. Where Abhishek can be done by simply using pure water, or it can be elaborated by including other ingredients too, like curd, honey, milk, coconut water, fruit juice, sandal paste, holy ash, ghee, and so on. Abhishek is a Sanskrit word which means sprinkling. It has been derived from the root sheka, which means to wet, and the prefix abhi, which means around. Hence, the literal meaning of Abhishek is wetting around. It is a part of a puja where the deity is bathed with sacred water. Bhagwan Shiva, he has several names that describe his qualities, and one such name is Bholinath, which suggests that he is innocent. In the Hindu pantheon consists of several gods and goddesses that are believed to be the manifestation of the Supreme Being. Therefore, each deity has a specific dharma, duty, and purpose for taking a form. Amongst these, Bhagwan Shiva is referred to as the most powerful. He, along with Brahma and Vishnu, makes a trinity which takes care of the process of birth, sustenance and death. Shiva is often referred to as the destroyer, but in reality it is he who destroys the impurities taking refuge in the human mind. He rids the body of its shortcomings and makes it worthy of attaining moksha. Therefore, it is he who is in charge of destruction, because unless the old perishes, the new wouldn't be able to take birth. Lovingly addressed as Bholenath, Lord Shiva has several other names that describes his personality, his dharma, or the qualities that he represents. But it may sound ironic that someone who is known for his wrath is Bhola, meaning innocent. Yes. Lord Shiva has the third and fiery eye upon his forehead, and he is indeed Bhola because it is easy to please him. No wonder that his devotees addresses him as Bholenath. A devotee can please Lord Shiva by offering water on the bilva leaves with utmost devotion. Interestingly, elaborate rituals do not form a part of Shiva Puja. Moreover, anyone irrespective of who they are can get blessed by him. For instance, Bhagwan Shiva, he doesn't see the intent behind a devotee's devotion. All he sees is the undying devotion towards him. Therefore, he is Bholenath. Devotees, I hope that the blessings of the Lord, and I pray that His blessings be upon each and every one of you. Till we meet again next week.
जय श्री राम जनहितकारी जय जय राम भवभय भंजन जय श्री राम रक्षक जय श्री राम जन मन रंजन जय श्री राम मुनि मुख रक्षक जय श्री राम जन मन रंजन जय श्री राम अखिल विश्वपति जय श्री राम रघुपति राघव जय जय राम हितकारी जय जय राम भवभय भंजन जय श्री राम मही दुखहारी हरि हरि राम गौ ब्राह्मण हितकारी राम मही दुखहारी हरि हरि राम गौ ब्राह्मण हितकारी राम संत जनन सुखकारी राम दशरथ नंदन जय जय राम हितकारी जय जय राम भवभय भंजन जय श्री राम पतित उद्धारण रघुपति राम धनुज विनाशन हरि राम पतित उद्धारण रघुपति राम धनुज विनाशन हरि राम भक्त कनो के तुम हो प्राण श्री रघुनंदन जय जय राम हितकारी जय जय राम भवभय भंजन जय श्री राम हितकारी जय जय राम भवभय भंजन जय श्री राम जय श्री राम जय श्री राम
My dear viewers, I hope you have enjoyed this morning's pravachan, and of course we tried to bring you a blend of different items on Rudraaya to, for your listening pleasure. And of course, the pandemic is certainly making it difficult for us to get, normally we'd get youths to come to the mandir and they'd perform and we'd air it on Rudraaya. But it's been a bit of a challenge, getting the youths together because of the lockdown and because of this COVID situation. So I do hope that you are still enjoying the items that we are airing, and it also brings you down. You take a walk down memory lane, because I know the concerts that we do show you, the performances, many of you attended those concerts and you saw those performances. So we do hope that it reminds you of what a fantastic time we had during those concerts. A little trip down memory lane for you. With that said, we'll get straight into our health segment with our own Dr. Sachin Ramkissoon.
Sitaram, and welcome to Health Corner. I am Dr. Sachin Ramkissoon, and today is the last episode in our 4-part series on hypertension. So far, we have discussed what hypertension is, how it is measured, the risk factors, and the important health consequences of uncontrolled high blood pressure. Today, we are discussing what we can do to control our blood pressure. As we all know, the best strategy is always prevention. Although there are many risk factors for developing hypertension, such as increasing age, ethnicity, and family history, there are many modifiable risk factors that we can change. To reduce the chances of developing hypertension, these lifestyle changes include maintaining a normal body weight, reduce your daily salt intake, have regular aerobic exercise 30 minutes each day for at least 5 times a week, limit alcohol consumption to no more than 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks per day for men, and consume a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. If you are diagnosed with hypertension by your family physician, the first line of treatment is a trial of lifestyle changes to see if the blood pressure can return to normal levels. This trial period is usually about 3 months. These lifestyle changes are the same as those just mentioned for prevention of hypertension. Numerous studies have shown that these lifestyle changes have a significant impact on lowering blood pressure and can be as effective as medication in some cases. One of the most important lifestyle changes is reducing your overall salt intake. A general rule of thumb is that you should not have to add salt to any food that you cook, since there is more than enough already added to the food items that we purchase. Adults are encouraged to keep their salt intake to less than 2,000 milligrams per day. You should make a habit of reading nutritional labels on food items for their salt content, as many are surprised at just how much salt the foods that we buy actually have. Over time, our taste for salt will actually decrease and may find processed or fast foods just too salty. Another important dietary change is the DASH diet, which stands for Dietary Approach to Stop Hypertension. This diet emphasizes eating plenty of fruits, vegetables, low-fat milk products, whole grains, dried beans, and nuts. If a trial of lifestyle changes fails to adequately reduce the blood pressure, your family physician may then start medication. There are a number of choices of medical therapy, each with their own mechanism of action. The important point is that if you are prescribed medication, that you take it every day and do not skip days. Many people only take their medication if they think that their blood pressure is high. This is dangerous since there is no symptoms of high blood pressure unless it becomes critically high or organ damage occurs. We should all take our medication every day without skipping any days. During this series, we have discussed a very important topic that affects many in our community. Hypertension is a condition that is easy to ignore since it has no symptoms. However, by the time you start seeing the long-term effects of uncontrolled high blood pressure, organ damage has already occurred and it is irreversible. We are at risk and we must all try to look after ourselves and our loved ones so that we can all enjoy a long and healthy life. Change is hard, but it is often necessary. We can use the encouragement of our loved ones as motivation to start making small steps towards a healthier lifestyle. Our health is too important to ignore. Thank you for joining me on Health Corner, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week on Rudraaya.
My dear viewers, I hope you've enjoyed the health segment. And now, of course, we get into our corporate segment. And Kamalji always brings you valuable information, especially now that the pandemic is still going on. What is happening at the funeral front side of things, which is certainly a sad time for us, because we're so used to when somebody dies to come out in large numbers and show our support and hug the family members to show our concern and our sympathy and our prayers for their loss, and we aren't able to do that during this time. So hopefully Kamalji and with his presentations, he do bring you valuable information, and he does always, on what's happening on the funeral home side of things. I'd like to introduce you to Kamalji from Lotus Funeral Home.
Sitram and Namaste. My name is Kamal Bardwaj, and I'm the owner of Lotus Funeral and Cremation Center in Toronto and Kitchener Funeral Homes and Crematorium in Kitchener. I'm also a licensed funeral director. As we continue to live in a society full of COVID regulations and restriction, the funeral industry also maintains its rules and regulation. So let's recap what these restrictions are presently. Firstly, face masks must be worn at all times. If you wish to attend a funeral for a friend or for a family member, your name must be on an attendance list provided by the family to the funeral home. It would be wise in this situation that anyone wanting to go to a funeral should contact the immediate family or of a loved one to see if there is space to be on an attendance list. At present, there is a maximum of 10 people allowed to be in a building of a funeral home at any given time, such as in the case for a funeral service. There can be a movement of people from groups of 10, but each time a group leaves, the funeral home must spend 15 minutes sanitizing the building before the next group is allowed in. Some people have opted to watch the funeral or visitation on Zoom, where they can even listen to speeches and perhaps make a speech as well. At Lotus Funeral and Cremation Center and Kitchener Funeral Homes and Crematorium, we operate 7 days a week and 24 hours a day. Our crematorium is located in our building, so we never have to leave our building in cold or bad weather for cremation. Our crematorium space can have a large group of people to attend the witnessing of the cremation as well. For Hindu families, we can provide all the puja items, including fresh leaves and a havan kund. We have large halls that can accommodate large seatings to smaller ones. We are centrally located for families in the west and families from the east. For more information, please contact me from the telephone number on the screen. Thank you for watching, and see you next week on Rudraaya. Sitaram.
Life is beautiful, but death is inevitable. I realized this when my dad passed away. So much pain, and amidst all this, the worry of arranging a funeral. Thankfully, in all this, Kamal stood by me. From the viewing to the cremation, he arranged it all at one location. Once someone is gone, they don't come back. But Lotus Funeral Home knows how to give them a respectable farewell.
Lotus Funeral Home. Life must be celebrated.
स्वर से बांसुरी बजाई जब घनश्याम ने, सारी आला झुक पड़े उसके नजर के सामने। मोरे बाला बन के मितवाने सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। मोरे बाला बन के मितवाने सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। हाथ कपड़ा बदल मली, कर में तंदुल ताबेली। हाथ कपड़ा बदल मली, कर में तंदुल ताबेली। मोरे बाला बन के मितवाने सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। मोरे बाला बन के मितवाने सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। सुन कर जाए कृष्ण मुरारी, एक दोनों ऊंचा पुसारी। सुन कर जाए कृष्ण मुरारी, एक दोनों ऊंचा पुसारी। राजा रुक्मणी करती हंस हंस की सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। राजा रुक्मणी करती हंस हंस की सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। मोरे बाला बन के मितवाने सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। होवे चरणन शीश लगाए, मोहन हसरत तंदुल गाए। होवे चरणन शीश लगाए, मोहन हसरत तंदुल गाए। चिन्ह में रखती उनके सिर की अटारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। चिन्ह में रखती उनके सिर की अटारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। मोरे बाला बन के मितवाने सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार। मोरे बाला बन के मितवाने सवारिया, नानक कहने कांधा पी के द्वार।
Another segment of Rudraaya. I hope you've enjoyed today's segment. And of course, as we, as we charter through these, as we navigate through these uncharted waters, and we continue to do so, I hope that you are building up your resilience and your strength and your courage, and you are realizing what the power that is inside of you. And when you need to, dig it deep down inside of you to pull that strength and that courage and that willpower out to go through these days, that it tells you how strong you are. And of course, I always like to leave a few words of wisdom to you. And today's message is to never put the key of your happiness in someone else's pocket. Remember, you alone are in charge of your own happiness. You shouldn't be seeking it from anyone else. And never put that key of your happiness in someone else's pocket. Okay, so please remember that. I'd like to thank our kind sponsors at Maharudraaya Mandir, as well as our executive producer, Gary Khan, for making Rudraaya possible. So until we meet again next week, have a blessed week. Namaste.
प्रेम सगाई सबसे ऊंची, प्रेम सगाई सबसे ऊंची, प्रेम सगाई। दुर्योधन को मेवा त्यागो, साग विदुर घर खाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। जूते फल शबरी के खाए, जूते फल शबरी के खाए, बहुविधि स्वर बताई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। प्रेम के वसुर अर्जुन रथ हाक्यो, प्रेम के वसुर अर्जुन रथ हाक्यो, भूल गए ठकुराई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। ऐसे प्रीत बड़ी वृंदावन, ऐसे प्रीत बड़ी वृंदावन, गोपियन नाच रचाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। सूर क्रूर इस लायक नाही, सूर्य क्रूर एक लायक नाही, कहे लग करऊ बधाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे हर